News is brought to you in high definition exclusively by Harper Auto Square. You are watching WBIR TV, Channel 10, Knoxville. The news starts now.
A Knoxville park, long forgotten for its original purpose, sees renewed attention from veterans.
Put some veteran-themed monuments and things in place.
A new campaign targeting drunk drivers is itself a target. That controversy tonight.
This will have the most impact on the most people of anything of my entire political career.
A county mayor explains the importance of clean air on the economy.
So, has your sister been reading?
Teachers take it upon themselves to start a summer reading program. Plus, an East Tennessee bear and fawn share something in common. They picked a place to cool off right in front of a camera. The Night Beat starts now. Good evening and thank you for watching. I'm John Becker. Robin Wilhoit is off on this Monday evening. We saw some strong storms dip down into East Tennessee tonight, and we're expecting more storms early tomorrow morning. We bring in Chief Meteorologist Todd Howell for more in the Weather Center. And Todd, we sort of dodged a bullet, at least in the valley here, as far as this first round. The next round, you're thinking maybe a little heavier.
Yes, I think the next round could be more uniformly widespread for most areas, John. We did. Here in the valley, storms were off to our east. Quite a few wind damage reports out of Virginia, Kentucky into upper East Tennessee. Quieter now. The severe thunderstorm watches that were in place earlier have been canceled. However, look right up here to our north and west. We are seeing a brand new severe thunderstorm watch just on the edge of your screen to the northwest there across parts of central Kentucky. Now, that's a clue. More storms will be coming in from the north and west late tonight, tomorrow morning, and we'll likely see some watches preceding that next round of storms that will be advancing in our direction as we get into our early Tuesday morning. Right now, Skywatch 10 radar shows some weakening thunder showers. That was kind of the remnant from round one, developed on the plateau in parts of the Western Valley and then moved due south. Here's a check of our high-resolution model forecast, though. We will be seeing the next round of showers and storms along parts of Kentucky at 5 a.m. Notice this line coming southward between 5 and 9 a.m. Heavier lines of showers and storms. We could have potentially high winds and heavy rain and frequent lightning. That's first thing for your Tuesday morning, and part of our morning commute will likely be affected early. Looks like it will be. Then we'll start to dry out toward noontime with more storms possible late in the day on into tomorrow night. And they could be strong to severe again late tomorrow, John. So we're going to keep you updated again early in the morning. Some more storms likely.
Todd, thanks very much. We'll talk to you in a bit. An East Tennessee park honoring our nation's heroes is getting some upgrades. Sharps Ridge Memorial Park in North Knoxville was dedicated to our veterans in the 1950s. Now a group of women veterans wants to spruce it up. WBIR 10 News reporter Kendall Morris joins us with more on their plans. Kendall?
That's right, John. The Women Veterans of America is partnering with the city of Knoxville on this project. They want to clean up and improve this park to make it a more fitting place for our veterans.
Currently, there's only one thing that indicates that this is a Veterans Memorial Park.
It's a park dedicated to honoring veterans, but only one stone among acres of land pays tribute to the men and women who have served our country.
There is nothing in this park other than that signifies it has anything to do with veterans at all.
Jessica King is leading the efforts to turn this park into a place that is more fitting of its title. The park, shown here in 1953, was dedicated to veterans, but King says it came as a shock when she found this was the only park in Knoxville memorializing our nation's heroes.
The reputation of this park certainly does not reflect the blood, sweat, and tears of the patriots who it honors.
Partnering with the City of Knoxville Parks and Recreation, King says she would like to clean up the picnic areas, clear the weeds and vines for better views, and even rename the park Sharps Ridge Veterans Memorial Park.
It's certainly important for us to recognize the contributions they made, not only when they served, but also after they've served.
And at the top of the park, towers are posted that can be seen from all over Knoxville. The Veterans Group would like to add a giant flagpole to that view, honoring all veterans with service flags surrounding it.
It's not just the fact that we need this park, it's that we need to honor the intentions that were made when this park was installed.
The Women Veterans of America is hosting a meeting at 6:30 this Thursday night to just discuss ideas, and that will be at the Fountain City Lions Club Meeting Hall. John?
Kendall, thank you. Look forward to seeing how that develops. A trial is now underway for a man accused of shooting 6 people at a nightclub near the UT campus. Marquale Patterson is charged with first-degree murder and attempted first-degree murder. That shooting happened last July at the now-closed Studio X on Cumberland Avenue. One man, 35-year-old Darius Boatwright, died. The judge seated a jury today, and prosecutors put their first witnesses on the stand. The trial will continue tomorrow. The teenager who ran away from a residential treatment facility for teenage boys in Roane County today is back in custody tonight. The director of Roane County Academy says the teen ran off after returning from a hospital visit. Officials say that teenager isn't a violent offender, and he turned himself in after hiding in some woods near that facility. He was cut up from briars and hungry as well, but otherwise fine. 2 other boys who escaped a week ago are still on the run. Investigators say a woman found murdered in a Monroe County creek lived in Knoxville. The TBI identified her as 42-year-old Kelly Cozart. Her body was found earlier this month in a creek off Tellico Lake near Sloan Road in Monroe County. TBI agents asked for the public's help in identifying her. Anyone with information about her death is asked to call the TBI number 1-800-TBI-FIND. Progress on clean air efforts could bring an economic boost to East Tennessee.
This will have the most impact on the most people of anything of my entire political career.
The Environmental Protection Agency says Knox, Blount, and Anderson counties now meet federal air pollution standard. That after years of failing grades. County leaders say bad air ratings kept some businesses from moving to this area, but given the new progress, those same leaders expect to add more companies. The EPA is weighing tightening standards again, and that could throw the region out of compliance. The state did earn a big performance bonus tied to the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP. The USDA ranked Tennessee 6th in the nation for SNAP payment accuracy at almost 99%. The achievement earned the state a $2.6 million bonus from the USDA. It must be spent on technology, program safeguards, or administration for SNAP. The program serves about 1.2 million Tennesseans. A new anti-DUI advertising campaign from the state is drawing some criticism for what some say is a sexist approach. One of the flyers reads, "After a few drinks, the girls look hotter and the music sounds better. Just remember, if your judgment is impaired, so is your driving." Others read, "Buy a drink for a marginally good-looking girl only to find out she's chatty, clingy, and your boss's daughter." Critics say the messages are sexist and rude to both men and women. The governor's highway safety office told the Tennessean the ads are designed to reach young men who are statistically more likely to drive under the influence and weren't intended to offend. A state representative from Nashville wants today to be the final Nathan Bedford Forrest Day in Tennessee. A current law requires the governor to set aside July 13th to honor the Confederate general and former Ku Klux Klan leader. Mike Stewart filed a bill to end that provision. That bill wouldn't change the observation of other holidays associated with the law, including Robert E. Lee Day, Abraham Lincoln Day, and Andrew Jackson Day. It's not always easy to get kids excited about school over the summer, but as WBIR 10 News reporter Rachel Whittle shows us, that's exactly what some Oak Ridge teachers are doing, and they're doing it on their own dime.
And the magician turned into
It's supposed to be summer vacation.
good reading.
But one Linden Elementary teacher wanted kids to stay in school spirit.
Every week they come running, they hold their books, and they come running up and say, "I read my books, I read my books."
Each Monday, Ginger Adams, along with a few other Linden teachers, bring hundreds of books to Mackenzie Acres on her own personal mission to educate.
See you next Monday.
Okay. I love it. This is the whole reason I went into teaching. When I was a kid, there weren't enough people around to read to me, and so I said, when I get older, I'm going to learn to teach. I'm going to teach people to read.
And it's all on their own dime.
We've all just volunteered to come and do this. None of the teachers out here have been paid or given any compensation. It's just all a project we decided that was important
project. Kids take 7 books home per week, but not without some fun first.
After we read with them, and if they've read their books, we give them a prize and a popsicle.
It's something positive for all the kids to do out here. They get really excited. They get rewarded for bringing their books back, so it gives them a responsibility also.
Lyndon mom Charity Crumpton says she can already see the difference in her daughter's reading level.
The more books that she reads, it seems like the better she writes.
But the book club wants to grow its reach.
Setting this up every week, especially when it's this hot, has been a little bit trying, and we think we could get more volunteers if we had a vehicle to house the books in and the donated goods that we've got, and then we would be able to have serve more kids.
As the club works toward buying a bookmobile, the reading will continue, and the teachers' efforts aren't going unnoticed.
They don't have to be out here, you know. Like you said, it's supposed to be their days off, but they take their time, and we really appreciate it.
Rachel Whittle, WBIR 10 News.
That's what it's all about. High fives, huh? Adam says surrounding Oak Ridge schools and businesses have already donated to the book club, including some e-reading Kindles for kids who can't make it to the weekly get-togethers. She also set up a fundraising page in hopes of buying a bookmobile, and you can find that link at our website, WBIR.com. A summer tradition is back in Anderson County. Yeah, that's the county fair. It started tonight at the Anderson County Fairgrounds in Clinton. It includes classic fair games, a demolition derby, tractor pull, and plenty of farm animals, and those exhibitions.
There's a lot going on from different bands every night. You kids can ride rides. There's 18 food vendors, 60 commercial vendors, so there's a lot of activities going on here.
The fair runs through Saturday, and tickets are $5. Tonight, an East Tennessee man made his second appearance on American Ninja Warrior, hoping to advance to the national finals. Grant McCartney made it farther than most other competitors, but fell just short of the end of the warped wall. McCartney grew up in Farragut, but now lives in Hawaii, and he just missed that jump. His training for the show included running with the Bulls in Spain, skateboarding across the world, and jumping off cliffs. He was tight. It was good. Leaders in New York City have reached a settlement with the family of a man who died in a police chokehold. We'll have the details on the multi-million-dollar payout. That's far less than the family originally asked for. Plus, some animals in East Tennessee find some ways to beat the heat just like all of us. Stay with us. We'll tell you about these photos coming up next.
Straight from the heart of East Tennessee, this is 10 News Night Beat.
Welcome back. City leaders in New York have reached a settlement with the family of a man who died after an apparent chokehold by police. The city agreed to pay the family of Eric Garner $5.9 million. Garner died almost a year ago during an arrest attempt. The medical examiner ruled his death a homicide, but a grand jury decided not to indict the officers, sparking protests. Garner's family originally sought $75 million. As part of the settlement, the city admitted no wrongdoing. A Massachusetts man is in custody accused of plotting an ISIS-inspired terror attack in the U.S. The FBI on July 4th arrested 23-year-old Alexander Sicolo, also known as Ali al-Maliki. His father is a Boston police officer and alerted the FBI to his son's interest in ISIS. Court documents show Sicolo bought a pressure cooker and told an undercover operative he planned to fill it with black powder, ball bearings, nails, and other objects. The FBI says he planned to use it to target college cafeterias.
It's a small little community where you kind of know each other. I know basically everybody around here, neighbor to neighbor. And when we hear something like that, it's a big shocker. It really is.
The accused family released a statement saying they're saddened by their son's intentions, but grateful authorities kept him from hurting anyone. Leaders in the Pentagon are finalizing plans to lift the ban on transgender individuals in the military. The goal is to end one of the last sexuality-based barriers in military service. Officials will have 6 months to assess the impact of the change and work out significant details. A coroner in Las Vegas says there's no evidence blues legend B.B. King was poisoned. An autopsy shows King died of natural causes tied to Alzheimer's disease and other physical conditions. Two of King's daughters claim through their attorney that King's business manager and personal assistant poisoned him. The coroner's ruling closes the official investigation into his death. He died in May at the age of 89. No surprise, it's been pretty hot lately. Sometimes everybody's got to cool off. How about this? Joey Sales shared these pictures with us, took them today on Fort Loudon Lake in Lenoir City. And your eyes do not fool you. Indeed, that is a black bear taking a little splash. Zach Hamblin shared this picture in Harrigan. And yes, that is a fawn taking a dip in the family pool. Anyway, to cool off. Oh, dear. The lake, the pool. Todd?
Yes.
Just what it's all about, and it's been that way. We're going to see things heat up, but first we've got to get through these storms.
We really do, John. Another round expected early in the morning. I tell you what, it is still hot outside.
Yeah, but it feels like temperature upwards of almost 90.
Yeah, take a look at it. Right here in Knoxville, it is a warm night. John, you're exactly right. 88 degrees is the feels like temperature. You walk outside, you know, especially it's a setup. You go from an air conditioning home or building right into comfort, and boom, 74-degree dew point hits you when you walk outside right now in Knoxville. 74-degree dew point. Very humid for this hour, especially, or any time of the day for that matter. 82 degrees the temperature. Again, that feels like 88. The winds west-southwest at 5. The pressure steady 29.79. Look at the temperatures. 81 in Cookeville. It's 78 Lenoir City. Impressive storms out of Kentucky just on the other side of the plateau. Also impressive storms for eastern Kentucky, Virginia, into upper east Tennessee. In between, basically spared here in the valley as far as round 1 goes. But several more rounds are anticipated between now and tomorrow night. Look at St. Louis, 92 degrees. Their heat index right now, 104. John, our 88 feels much better. Now, yes. St. Louis, 104. Heat index, golly, we're there an hour behind. That doesn't matter. It's still hot. 91 degrees is the heat index from Nashville over to Memphis. All right, here's a look at that hot upper level ridge, if you will. And it's anchored in Arkansas. Notice the storms are developing on the top of the ridge. And then once they get around that area high pressure, they're bending back to the south and then tucking underneath. That's why the storm flow and direction is coming southward out of Kentucky into East Tennessee. Now, the first round went a little bit more southeast right there. Made it kind of redeveloped around Charlotte, didn't it? Near Gaffney, and continued Columbia, and that's still round 1, making it all the way down there. Round 2 is developing out of Illinois into Indiana. Indianapolis seeing some stronger storms. And again, these are going to be tracking to the south. Here's this first little mini cool front, cold pool of air behind it, if you will, and that's going to kind of just be stationary. There's the latest severe thunderstorm watch box in anticipation of the next round of storms. I would not be surprised if a severe thunderstorm watch is issued late tonight and early in the morning for this second round. Now, knocking on your door in London and Somerset and Monticello in Kentucky early in the morning at 5 a.m. Here is 7 a.m. coming on down into East Tennessee. So between 5 to 7 to 9 a.m., that's when the main impact from this second round will be. So basically early in the morning, but through the Tuesday morning commute, likely impacted. At least the potential is there for heavy rain, possibly some damaged winds, including power outages as that next line moves through. Hopefully not, but there is the potential for some damage and wind gusts, heavy rain and frequent lightning. Then the rest of our Tuesday, we get a little break during the day, but late tomorrow and tomorrow evening, more storms are likely going to develop, and they could be strong into tomorrow night. So once again, there's the look at those local temperatures, and there's that upper ridge that continues to spin. Again, we're looking at another round of storms late tonight and in the morning, one more round tomorrow night. Then the rest of the week looks very pleasant. We actually get lower humidity by Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. The rest of the week looks good after tomorrow night's storms. 73 tonight, warm and humid. More showers and storms late and early in the morning. And then another round of some scattered strong storms later Tuesday and Tuesday night. Sunshine Wednesday, Thursday, again, lower humidity. Sunny and then hot weather returning into the weekend, John.
All right, Todd, thanks very much. Gators took to the podium today at SEC Media Days what their new coach had to say about building a new era with that program. Also, the Vols pick up a new commit, and he won't have to travel far to campus. You'll meet him coming up next.
Some guys like to commit early, maybe the summer before their senior season, but how about the summer before your sophomore campaign? Catholic offensive tackle Cade Mays committed to the Vols today for the class of 2018. His father and uncle were both linemen at Tennessee, and he grew up watching the Vols. Cade was out practicing with the Irish this morning, then headed over to UT to tell the coaching staff in person.
I just told my parents I felt like that it was the right place for me, and I didn't want to wait and play everything to the end, and I just felt like it was the right time, and I wanted to make my decision early. I went to Orange Carpet Day. My parents were actually in the hospital having their baby, and I walked in by myself, and all the coaches take me in, and I don't think I could do that anywhere else.
Congratulations to him on that commitment. Well, SEC Media Days kicked off in Hoover, Alabama this morning. Tennessee speaks tomorrow, but one of their rivals went today. On September 26th, the Vols travel to Florida looking to end the Gators' decade-long winning streak against the Orange and White. Florida said goodbye to Will Muschamp and hello to Jim McElwain. McElwain is still trying to cater his style of football to what he's got in Gainesville right now.
There's been some differences maybe philosophically from a recruiting standpoint of how those guys, have come in, and yet at the same time, those are all really good football coaches. For us, it's about trying to find out more so what they do well. Now let's fit what we're trying to do in the now to help these guys be successful, but let's keep working on maybe some of the flaws along the road.
The Vols take over Hoover tomorrow, and WBIR will be right there with them. Nick Carboni and Patrick Murray will have plenty of coverage all day, starting tomorrow on air and online at WBIR.com. They'll also be using the hashtag WBIRVols on Facebook and Twitter. Well, the Hardin Valley Hawks are looking to improve on a 2014 season that saw them return to the playoffs and go 6-5. Now, Hardin Valley is one of those schools in the new 6A, so they have a spot in the playoffs no matter what happens during the season. The Hawks are looking to replace some key guys up front on both sides of the ball, but they're excited about the speed this squad has.
We have a better group of skilled guys in depth than we've had in years past, and then unfortunately we lost a lot of our big guys up front, which is going to force us to have to spread the field just a little bit more. So we're going to have to rely on that team speed this year and kind of get the ball to our guys in space.
Hardin Valley kicks off 2015 on Thursday, August 20th against West. Well, just 87 days after making his Major League debut, former Tennessee Smoky Chris Bryant was in his very first home run derby, taking BP from his dad, too, at the Great American Ballpark. That's pretty cool. It's a new timed bracket format this year. Bryant was going up against Albert Pujols in the first round, and Chris had to go first. He goes yard 9 times. Is that enough? Albert needs 10 to move on. And there it is. Rookie is done for the night. That'll do it for Chris Bryant. Pujols knocks out Bryant. Todd Frazier actually went ahead and won in front of his home crowd. He hit 15 in the final round against John Pedersen. Well, up at Smokies Park, Tennessee was finishing up the series with Biloxi. Top of the second, Jorge Lopez getting one down into the gap. It's good for 2 with a stand-up double right there. Biloxi takes the lead. Bottom of the third now, Bajan Rodemaker over the pitcher's head out to center. Elliot Soto would come home. Smokies down 2-1, but Biloxi grabs the victory in the series finale 9-2. And watching that home run derby, really interesting this year. The new format, it was really exciting. It was pretty cool.
Time, that made a difference.
Yeah, and the whole bracket thing was really interesting too.
Cool. Wheels, thanks.
Yeah.
Sometimes friendships form the most unlikely of pairings, and that's the case in a coffee shop in Japan. We'll explain the story behind these best buds. An unusual friendship is catching the attention of customers at a coffee shop in Japan. A 5-year-old owl and a 2-month-old kitten have become best of friends. The owner of the shop says he put them together in June because he just thought they looked alike. And you can see they do. He posted videos and photos of them ever since, and they just buddied up.
How did the owl get in the coffee shop?
Great question there, Wheels. We cannot answer that. Not enough time. We'll set our crack research team of JR and Hugh on that and try to get you some information.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.